Hey, Blake.
Hey, AJ, what's up?
Do you ever think about the fact that we have a platform?
A platform?
Like, we have an audience, right? And we have a platform. And I think that with that comes a level of responsibility, yeah?
Yeah, we got to treat them with respect, not send bullshit their way.
No. Not like a level of responsibility for the audience. They're going to listen to us or they're not going to listen to us. I don't have control over that. What I do have control over is what we put into the world.
Okay. Are you going to put garbage into the world? Is this where you're going?
I have a message that I think needs to be shared with the world and a hill that I'm prepared to die on and a hill that I think needs to be pushed to the rest of the world.
Okay, what's that?
Because we spent 2019 and I think a little bit of 2018 pushing a lie that I'm very upset about.
Okay. You going to get to the point or you're going to keep doing this dramatic build-up dumb shit?
The point is that for too long we've been told this crock shit lie that Africa by Toto is the greatest song ever made.
And arguably is, yeah.
But it's not.
Okay,
it's an inarguable thing.
What would you say is a song more better than Toto by Africa?
The greatest song ever made is in fact Shake It.
Shake It, but what? By Fatboy? No, not Fatboy Slim. What the fuck are you talking?
I'm sorry.
About?
Hold on. I need to take this.
Oh, really? Wow, this must be really a good song. If you can't remember who it's fucking by, I can tell you something that's better than Africa by Toto.
I really do want to take this bit from the top, Blake. I fucked up so bad, please. Blake, I fucked up the bit. It's not Shake It. The song is called Hey Ya.
I know, but that's how it's got to live now.
Oh, fuck. I fucked up on PSA. No. Okay, good. I was like being all dramatic and stuff, but like now I feel really shitty and really bad. The greatest song ever made is Hey Ya by Outkast. It is not Toto's Africa. That song fucking blows. Toto by Africa sucks. The song's bad. And for like a whole last fucking year, we ended the decade on a fucking lie. We ended the decade on a lie of everybody being like, oh, Africa by Toto is the greatest song ever made. It's not. It's Hey Ya by Outkast. It's always been Hey Ya by Outkast. It always will be Hey Ya by Outkast.
Hey Ya by Outkast came out in the 2000s.
And it's the greatest song ever made.
But if they're talking about the greatest song of the decade, that's 2010 to 2020,
I'm saying
dumb fuck.
I'm saying we closed the decade out by everybody pushing this shitty agenda that Africa by Toto was the greatest song ever made.
Oh, okay. So you're being like, hey, let's look back on every year, like the past 2020 fucking years, right? Of
2020 is a new decade. We can take it with a fresh start. We can take it on the correct step. With a truth. One fucking truth in today's oblivion.
Okay. Well,
Hey Ya by Outkast is the greatest song ever made. And we have a responsibility to push this, Blake.
Okay, and with AJ's bad agenda,
Are you with me or are you against me?
I'm against you because it's like the best song ever is fucking I'll Be Watching You by The Police.
Incorrect.
Yeah, it's an amazing fucking song because it's so creepy and good and atmospheric. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a fucking music podcast now, talking about dumb songs that were written 40 plus years ago.
I mean, fuck it. I'll do the whole podcast episode about this.
No. Our whole podcast is we have to take everybody's games ideas and turn them into, like, what would this be as a music album? What would be a can of tomato soup rolling on the street? What? Yeah, that was one of our submissions that we got. If I believe it was from Gazer, you have to play the Campbell soup can rolling home to your child. But we already did that. That's Project Slime.
Hold on. Wait. What fucking segue did you take to get to that sentence that you just said right now?
Well, I'm saying if you want to make this a music podcast, what we do is we normally take your lovely ideas from Reddit and Twitter of fake video games or idea pitches, and we talk about what that game would look like. I'm saying is we take those ideas and then we adapt them to music albums.
Okay.
for no fucking reason.
There we go. Okay.
Do you want to do that with one of our submissions? It cannot be an
absolutely
joke.
Not. I'm not doing that.
Okay, fine. This isn't a music fucking let me go back to my original stance.
Okay.
AJ, this isn't a fucking music podcast. Don't you dare bring that up ever in our podcast. Or next week we'll talk about the anime awards and we'll be smitten.
Oh yeah, the anime awards are coming around soon, and I will absolutely subject our audience to listening to us talk about that. Fuck it. It's our show.
So we take your lovely submissions from the internet, from Reddit, Twitter, and email, and YouTube. Though AJ's a bitch.
That's not official channels.
And we spend the episode talking about those lovely ideas. And at the end of it, finding our nugget and making that into a full-fledged game idea. AJ, do you want to pitch me a game that isn't music related?
No.
Actually, I got a game that's music related. Holy shit, I got a game that's music related. This was like one of the last ideas I got. This one comes to us from Melbent at Melbent SSB, a new rock band spin-off where every player uses a different Japanese rhythm arcade game as their peripheral. So we have Dance. I was going to say Dance with the Dead, but that's not at all what it
that's
is.
a band, not a peripheral.
Dance Dance Revolution. Then you have that little drum one where you have like the
2 sticks and the big drum.
2 sticks and the big drum.
Okay, and then you have the one where you have like the 2 little knobs that you're jiggling left and right and up and down.
So you know what's even cooler?
And then you have
bands that have 2 drummers. So you know what the other drum set's going to be? It's going to be Donkey Kong's drums like conga set.
Fuck yeah. Okay. And then one
good
of the other
guitar?
peripherals that we got is like that one peripheral that's for the Hatsune Miku arcade game where it's just like a bunch of like square, circle, triangle, and you tap the right button.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that at round 1 once.
Oh shit. Okay. So what is the? Are we just playing anime openings?
Yeah, probably. And I think that like
I want to do a battle of the bands mechanic because you know one thing that always bothers me is because AJ and I were having a conversation about this before we were looking at all the anime awards and discussing who had the best anime opening.
you can't talk about that this week
I'm
because
gonna.
we're talking about it next week.
Guess what? I'm gonna fucking talk about it because it's relevant to our game, AJ.
All right.
So you know, one dispute we're gonna use this game to decide who has the best opening. So you got to play that opening better than the other person, and then you win. Better than their opening.
It's an amp versus amp arcade game.
It's an amp versus anime arcade game.
We will always have this arcade game going with all 5 of their peripherals on opposite sides of the arcade.
Okay, and then you have to just play it louder and louder.
You play it as loud as you can, and the winner will be whoever has more people on their side of the arcade.
You know, it'd be a fucking nuisance too. The worse you play, the lower your volume gets. The better you play, the higher the game volume gets.
Yes.
So you actually are overtaking the other person's audio in this giant arcade.
The higher the difficulty, the louder the music is also. So you can't just play on baby mode and like make everybody listen to the Attack on Titan opening.
Oh, holy shit.
I mean, you could try, but I'm going to be on the other side with all 5 of my friends. And we're going to be on the hardest difficulty, rocking out to the Naruto openings. And we're just going to be jamming that through the whole place.
Really quick, AJ. What anime song would you go with?
The Naruto openings, the one from the Chunin exams.
You mean Sambo Master, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are terrible with
Why
music
would I
names.
know that? Do I look like a weeb to you?
First, the Hey Ya song that what did you call it?
I called it Shake It. And I was wrong, and I made a mistake about the world's greatest song ever made.
I would do Again by Yui.
What opening is that?
That's Full Metal Alchemist, dude. Like the really fucking jam-packed one.
That's a good pull.
It's a good fucking anime opening. Give me a game idea.
This submission comes from TwitchGuy222 on Twitter.
Hey, is that a new user? Welcome.
This is Pure. I believe Pure sent us a submission last week.
Yes, they did.
A game where you're an accountant in a fantasy world, and you have to give your magical clients the best deals. This is also a permadeath game. I don't know how. Make it work.
I think the permadeath thing, the first thing before we figure out the fantasy, I think the permadeath aspect is not necessarily you dying, but no longer becoming an credible accountant in this universe. So that person no longer gets hired. And that's their version of permadeath.
I'm a little bit more interested in a world where accounting is a life or death situation.
Oh,
and
shit.
I think that you are maybe like the accountant for some sort of like barbarian tribe. Where if you fuck up the math, you are going to be killed by the barbarians. You're going to be chopped up and consumed for math power.
You know what we could do?
And then the next best mathematician within the barbarian tribe will take over as accountant.
You know, it'd be really cool. We do this Civ style. So you know, like at the beginning of Civ, you can decide which civilization you are with, and that will dictate where you start on the planet. At the beginning of the game, you can figure out which accountant tribe you want to be for.
Yes.
So you can be like, I want to be an accountant for the barbarians, which is a high risk, high reward sort of vibe. So it's if you fuck up like more than once, you die instantly.
Yeah.
But
they're going to be making money all the time.
Constantly raiding and pillaging and getting like new income there. So you're going to get a shit ton of money.
Yes, that's probably like the hardest one because they're always making money.
So it's like you don't really have to do a whole lot of budgeting for them. So it could be like
Oh yeah, that's true. Very, very low budget expenses on a barbarian raid because
Yeah.
they'll just pick up whatever the fuck
like,
they
we
find.
need some armor. Okay, let's go pillage and get some fucking armor.
We found a door on somebody's house, so that's my new shield because I'm a barbarian and I have no fucking rules.
Fuck, dude. There was like some series I watched where there was literally that a guy was using a door from a doorway as a shield.
Seriously?
And it was like the coolest fucking thing. I was like, I never thought of that before. Doors are just shields that sit in one place.
Doors really are just shields from the outside world, yeah.
Okay, what are some of the other places?
I think that there's a knights class. And maybe those knights are elves. And like I like that idea. We double down on the idea that they're too poshy to pick up any sort of rabble.
They only
Oh, but my armor has a chip in it. This will not do. I must go purchase a new set of armor.
accountant.
Accountant, how much for a new gold-plated armor? And then you're like,
Gold-plated
oh
armor
my
would be
fucking
so-
God, King Jerry.
You know what's so fucking dumb? Like
What?
I've seen in so many like fantasy things where they just wear gold armor.
You say it's dumb, but it's actually fucking cool.
It's cool, but armor, you just take a fucking sword to that iron sword or a steel sword, it's gonna pierce right through it, and you're dead. You're gonna get blood all over your dumbass armor.
Why would they attack me? I'm wearing gold. Clearly, they know not to attack me.
Because they know you're poshy and are like, that man has a lot of money. I'm
They'll-
gonna fucking kill him.
They'll know that I'm super powerful and much too menacing for them to take
No, it
down.
means you had rich parents, you fucko.
I'm too rich. Poor people can't attack me.
That gives me super Gilgamesh vibes. It's like, who gave you the permission to look up at me after being attacked by them?
Gilgamesh from Fate, of course.
From Fate. Yeah, and he also has gold armor because he's a poshy
Because
fuck.
it's the correct thing to do.
The king of kings that...
The problem
dupe.
with this group is, of course, as we mentioned, any sort of scratch or ding in their armor, they're going to want to try to buy new armor. They are going to hemorrhage money.
So is the whole
But
thing about them
they
like...
won't lose any fights. They're very good at fighting. They just
Uh-huh.
are so expensive. Gosh dang it.
These remind me of kind of the Athenians, like in like real ass history, because they were kind of poshy and didn't want to fight too much, but they were like pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So it could be... So
What's another faction in this accountant
I
game?
think the thing that we need to answer first is like, what are the duties of an accountant? Just keeping track of costs, keeping track of
profits.
keeping track of profits, and keeping track of debt. So maybe we can include some sort of like, so say the elves are like this, the elven knights, right? They never fight, but they always want the best armor.
And they're always loaning shit.
They're always loaning shit. But it could, or not necessarily loaning shit, but they're always like hiring other people to do their job. But it can come down to it where when they hit debt, it hits hard because, like, say they don't have enough money to hire people, so they need to use their actual troops. You send out troops, you'll get the job done, but the costs are going to be super high because you need to replace every single set of armor that they have because it's dumb gold that gets broken really easily.
Here's the problem that I'm running into with this game.
Uh-huh.
It sounds very fun. Like it sounds like it's like scratches that same itch that like Moonlighter does. Like it's very exciting to deal with money and deal with like fantasy things in that context. It's also very boring is the thing.
Okay,
like,
so
it's very fun to send out barbarians and knights and think about how much does that cost really.
okay, here I have one for you. So this world operates off of, they do grand scale wars, they do all these things, but you know how they really decide the major fucking decisions in this world? Accountant arenas.
Quick math tests.
No, accountant arenas.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like the accountants get into an arena, and then you're given like
accountant each
you're
other.
given 50 sheets of quick math, and you have to do the quick math faster than the opponent.
That sounds like the fucking trivia murder party thing from Jackbox.
Yes, it's like the
basically
trivia
that.
murder party, and like you mentioned Civ, right? And so like I definitely think that like there's a Civ component of like turn by turn, you do this, you do that,
AJ, we take
but
the
you do
Mario.
need to keep on top of your money, and then you can decide. I don't actually owe you all this money, Blake. I know that like you barbarians, I'm a barbarian and I kept borrowing shit from you elves, all your kick-ass gold swords, and I said I was going to pay it back, but I'm actually not going to pay it back. And you're like,
you decide that in the accountant arena?
yeah, I'm going to prove that I don't owe you a dime in
How
the
about this?
accountant arena. And if I can do math better than you can do math, then I don't owe you shit.
How about this? How about this to keep the variety up? So we take the Mario Party method, where it's like everybody takes a turn, Civ style, and then it goes into the accountant arena at the end of every round, and there it'll be some sort of accountant-based mini game. So the first one will be like the quick math, and then like another round goes by, and what's another accountant thing? They have to type really fast, or they have to see discrepancies. Oh, you know, what'd be really fucked up. You have to read something, and like you have to like pick out where
see
things
a series of math problems, and you have to pick out immediately which problems are incorrect,
wrong, or else it'll directly take money out of your current standing.
Yes.
So maybe somebody might not die, but somebody will definitely be like, if you don't carry the math, it turns out you're now in the fucking negative, and you need to spend this next round getting your ass out of it.
You owe money to God now.
How much you owe money to God?
It depends, because if you're the elves,
is God that's the nickname they give to the local loan shark. It's just, or else God's gonna get you, and it's just Grim Reaper, but he's a loan shark, dude.
And the Grim Reaper, if you go into too many of the math mini games and you come out on bottom too much, you're gonna get by the loan shark.
I fucking love it. It's a site that says loan shark on the side of it would be fucking a beautiful visual.
I want to put a pin in Civ, but with math.
All right, I got a game for you. I'm gonna go back to a little bit of rhythm gaming. Okay, is that all right?
I mean, I don't really get a choice, do I?
No, you don't. This one comes to us on Twitter from Robbie Navarro at L Brown Knight. A rhythm game where you have to match your heartbeat to today's top hits.
All right, let me just do a quick Google check.
You know, like, you know, like the average heartbeat of like a resting heartbeat, or like when they're doing activity is like 120, right? It's like it's between 110 and 120, I believe. And it also depends if you're an athlete or not. Most songs go above that, I think.
According to my quick Google search, here is some of today's top hits.
Okay.
In number 1, we have Circles by Post Malone.
Okay, how many beats per minute is that? That's the thing that you got to figure out.
Oh, man. Billboard doesn't say. Let me Google some more. You keep being funny.
Okay, but here's the thing. So I think it should be like a device that you strap to your chest, right? And it'll measure the amount of heartbeats you have. And let's just go extreme. If you don't match the heartbeat like you're supposed to, you done get got. It's like a pacemaker, but worse. I mean, it's like not pacemakers are good. Like a pacemaker, but it'll kill you.
Post Malone's Circles is 120 beats per minute.
Okay, so you need to keep up that maximum. AJ, we market this as a cardio game, so you need to like exercise to match the beats per minute of that song that you were listening to while you're fucking playing. And you know what's cool about that? It's like I play Beat Saber, right? And people love making playlists of like all the different songs you can do to get a really good workout out of it. Imagine the Reddit communities that would jump from this. Be like, hey, this is an excellent playlist if you're trying to build some cardio, but also if you get below this certain point, you're going to die, which is very likely on those harder games.
Yeah, I want to point out one thing really quick that's tripping me up.
Okay, what's that?
You know what the number 2 song on today's charts is?
What?
Memories by Maroon 5. How the fuck is Maroon 5 still like huge?
I mean, like they played the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, like,
so, like
3 years ago. And like the Super Bowl is where I feel like artists go to die. Did you ever hear? Hold on, wait. Did you hear?
You have such a point. You have such a fucking point.
Anything about Gwen Stefani after she got the Super Bowl spot?
The only thing I think I've heard.
Hold on, wait. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Gwen Stefani did do a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gwen Stefani did. I don't know. Is she the one that made All I Want for Christmas Is You? That's Gwen Stefani, right?
Gwen Stefani did the halftime Super Bowl in 2003, as no doubt is the thing.
Whoa, that was forever ago.
So, like, no doubt was a thing. They did the Super Bowl. Gwen Stefani was like, okay, peace out, fuckers. I'm Gwen Stefani now.
Okay, AJ, hold on. Really.
LMFAO was at the Super Bowl one year, and we didn't hear shit from them afterwards.
Maybe that's just because they got paid so much money, and we're like, we can coast now. We don't really have to focus as much. Because playing the Super Bowl must be fucking expensive. Also, how soon was it that Michael Jackson retired from his career after playing that Super Bowl?
Probably immediately. This is where, like, career goes to die. Maroon 5 did the Super Bowl. They should not be making music anymore. Step aside, you fucking, like, dinosaurs.
Hey, AJ, actually, you know what? Fuck you, you boomer-ass boomer.
What?
So, fucking, okay. Here's the thing. There's a secret organization that makes sure you retire after playing the Super Bowl. It's part of the contract.
Okay.
Maroon 5 is running from them. They're still trying to produce music, and they're fighting to get back to the Super Bowl so they can announce this crazy fucking blasphemous thing. They're working their way back to the Super Bowl. Give them another 2 years, they'll be there, and they're going to spout some strange conspiracy shit. We lost the fucking thread.
Yeah, I'm really confused about the fact that Maroon 5's been around for a long time, right? I like it or hate it. This is a music podcast now, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm on my shit again.
Let's fucking go to another goddamn thing, dude. Okay, I got another game idea for you.
Maroon 5 has been making music since 1994.
Yeah, and so is Smash Mouth, but they're still kicking.
Yeah, and Smash Mouth hasn't released a chart-topping song in decades. Because they did Shrek, and that's essentially the movies of Super Bowl. Oh, sorry, that's the Super Bowl of movies.
I just want to clarify that that Shrek came out 2002, and we just hit 2020, so it's not decades, it's a decade and some change.
All right, well.
Maroon 5, though, they were fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know why you're getting so amped about this.
It just seems wild to me that they're still a thing.
Fucking Illuminati reptiles or something. I don't know, man. That's my answer.
You might be onto something. Maybe Maroon 5 is up to some suspicious shit. They only have one past member.
Really?
According to their Wikipedia.
Okay, I'm going to bring it back to my rhythm pacemaker game. So basically, if you play this game and you have to match your heartbeat to this, if you don't, you go into a little music coma where you see visions of the reptile people that are gatekeeping people after they do the Super Bowl thing. Done. Game. That's it. Get the YouTube conspiracy theories going.
What I like about this concept that you've proposed is also the idea that Katy Perry did the show as No Doubt for the Super Bowl and then sacrificed...
Whoa.
Gwen Stefani. Sorry, my bad. Gwen Stefani did the Super Bowl with her band, No Doubt.
And
and then sacrificed her band members so that she could go on as Gwen Stefani.
It's like some fucking berserk things. It's like, I will sacrifice my tribe so I can prevail. I can achieve new godlike abilities as Gwen Stefani. AJ, give me a fucking game, dude.
All right, I'll give you a video game. This comes from I am not witty enough for a funny name.
That's a funny
on Twitter,
name.
At ARP1033. ARP suggests D&D simulator where you have to try to schedule each session with 4 AI with different settings of unavailability. As the difficulty levels go up, so do their schedules. No actual D&D will ever be played.
I mean, just get some fucking Joe Schmoes from your school or something and try and organize around them, but then you can cancel on them at the last moment.
But can we make a game out of this?
I mean, we could surely make an activity. I don't think it would count as a fun game.
Hear me out.
Okay. What genius do you have in your noggin?
This is a scheduling-based visual novel. So, there's a lot of visual novel things. There's 4 party members, and you're the DM, and you're trying to get these 4 people to come together. And as you schedule out, I think that the visual novel only progresses when you are able to schedule a D&D session. Mm-hmm. So, maybe it's a little bit a Persona game. You can go in and talk to all of these people on different, free times. It's on Monday you can hang out with Jeffrey. On Tuesday you can hang out with Diana.
Uh-huh.
And you can learn so much more about Jeffrey and Diana, and they'll expose their current life stories. But nothing, no real time of any of their stories will pass until you're able to schedule out and plan a D&D session in which nothing will happen.
Okay, AJ, you know how I vision this going?
Yes.
You put it out for $60 on Steam. Nobody buys it. Then you have to do an immediate sale the next day. People play it, and you get 0 stars because where's the fucking game? Where's the fun, dude?
The game doesn't have to be fun. We can sell this as a D&D simulator game, but here's the thing. People won't care. Do you know why people love the new Fire Emblem game?
Why do they love the new Fire Emblem game?
It's not for the Fire Emblem gameplay of the RPG tactics stuff. It's just the visual dating, visual novel, getting to meet all these kids and dating them. No one will give a fuck about our D&D game.
That's like some Disney XD show kind of bullshit. It's like, it's
what
not about
the fuck does that
Hold on.
sentence mean?
Hey, dude, fucking stick with me, okay? Stick with me.
Okay.
It's basically it's like one of those. It's like a story that basically says, yeah, it wasn't about the ending. It was about the journey getting here, as a fucking cop out.
Yes.
You know what show did that and it was fucking hilarious, but it also brought to light that it's such a dumb concept.
Sweet Life on Deck.
No, no. You remember What Can Neil Do for You? That guy, the guy who makes those fake business plans.
Nathan for you.
I am Nathan for you, and he did a whole thing based off of that concept. And it's like, yeah, it was
on
about
Disney Channel?
No, not on Disney Channel, but like Disney Channel does things where it's like, "Hey, nothing went according to plan, but we got to meet each other." It's dumb. It's dumb. I hate it. It's dumb.
So you're not interested in my visual novel dating game that is
It's
pretending
not a
to
dating
be...
game. It's a D&D game, AJ.
Well, or is it? Wink.
Dating and dating, that's what it stands for. That's it. We marketed it as a D&D game, but there's like really no D&D-esque art in it.
Yes.
And then it's just dating and dating. Okay, I can deal with that.
Thank you.
So it's a game. It's a game about just like, hey, I want to do a group meetup, but it turns out I just want to hang out with you. And
yes.
that's the game.
If you schedule out the D&D session and you know that Diana is the only one that's going to make it, then you get to strengthen your bond with Diana. But Jeff and Kyle and Susan, they're all going to fuck off and get a little bit angry at you. But you and Diane are tight now.
Got a connection.
And the whole game is premised on this. Like, the backdrop is you're trying to get all of your friends together for a D&D session. But you're just picking which people you want to hang out with.
Okay, so maybe we can do a thing like this. Because I think most dating games have this kind of as a setup. It's you have 1 week to do whatever. Like at the end of this week, you're supposed to have a D&D session.
Yes.
Every day passes, you can decide who you want to spend with on that day leading up. The best way to do it would be like hang out with everybody at least once, so you can pop the question of like, hey, you want to do D&D with me?
When are you available?
When are you available?
You can get their dates.
Or you can just say, I like these 2 people, and I'm going to divide my time amongst them, and hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if Kevin's able to make it. I'm going to schedule with these 3 people, and Kevin's on his own. But in the game that we play, we will never see D&D pass. It is just a visual novel game.
The credits will roll as like, and now everybody showed up for D&D. Really just cheesy fucking ukulele, happy ad-friendly music. It just starts playing and the credits roll.
Yes.
God damn it.
Okay, now you're with me.
Okay, no, but I mean, we made something. We've made a thing, I guess. That, if anything can be said, at least that can.
It was made.
It was made.
Do you have a game suggestion?
I sure do. This one comes to us at Gazer, at Just Gazer. A branded game all about the Twinkie Cowboy, but with the drama and writing of Red Dead Redemption. You know what's fucking weird?
That I have no idea who the fuck the Twinkie Cowboy is.
Okay, bring it back and you'll get weird visions.
Is he a cowboy that is a twink?
It's sure. Let's see. It's creep.
What was that? What did you say about a cream-filled twink? Cowboy?
I'm not saying it.
Say it out loud.
It's too bad. You already said it. So
wow, that is one cream-filled twink. I finally got him pulled up.
Yeah, the moment I read that submission, it like brought me back to like being 4 years old, where like when they were still using that as part of their ad campaign. I was like, oh my God. It's like I just saw visions of craziness. So we're going to do a cowboy game. AJ.
Yeah?
We're going to do a cowboy game, but in this world, everybody is a different dessert item. And we're
fuck yeah.
So our main
Do they have to be dessert items or can they just be sweets? My main question is, can I get Count Chocula in the mix?
No,
he's the only sweet-based.
It has to be a food. Like you would eat Count Chocula. You'd eat chocolate Count the cereal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't eat the mascot.
So it has to be mascots that are the food.
Yeah, mascots that are the food. Do ding dongs have a mascot? Or I don't know, actually. I think
really want to get ding dongs and cream-filled twinks in the mix together, huh?
Sure, why not? That's what they call their. Because what's the name of the gang from Red Dead Redemption? They call themselves something. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't play that game.
They're the creepy ding dongs.
Shut up. We're moving on. I ruined it.
I hate this. I'm so sorry, Gazer. We just shit all over that.
I also
so
can't think
sorry.
of any other food-based mascots.
You can do the extremely problematic cinnamon dude. The cereal.
The cinnamon guy is cinnamon, and the apple guy is an apple. So you're right. We do have those too.
There are villains.
Yeah,
you want to fight racism.
they're pretty rough.
Yeah, this is really fucking rough, dude. You can do. We can take it back. Remember a bunch of episodes back, we talked about the honeycomb monster.
That is not an edible honeycomb, Blake Rhea. That's a monster,
right.
man.
That's right. He isn't a food item. Okay, so we have a cowboy.
We've got 2 characters.
Whatever. So it's like we have 2 characters and 2 things that we would prefer to put other things for. And so it's basically, you haven't played Red Dead, which is a shame because it's a really fucking good game.
That's what the rumor mill keeps saying.
See, it's the thing I love about it so much
is that the horse balls shrink when you go up to the cold places and they grow when you go to warm places. And that's your favorite thing about that game.
I was going to go to
real. You could not
realize.
stop talking to me about that feature. And I said, Blake, I get it. And you were like, no. Look, they're smaller now. And I was like, Blake, can you please? And he's like, it's so in depth, AJ. $1 billion went to the.
I was FaceTiming him. I told him to join my party on PS4.
He would send me photos of close-ups, and he'd say, "Hey, AJ, guess where I'm at in Red Dead right now? You'll never guess."
You fucking asshole. No, the thing was, and this is the first time I've ever felt this, is like, like people talk about keyboards is like, oh, there's more options, there's more ways to set up an interface for a game. This one actually set up like layers within one controller. So like you have access to everything on the top layer, right? Like X equals X, 0 equals 0, that whole bullshit. But if you were to hold down certain buttons, every button would represent something new.
Oh, like you could hold down the left trigger and the menus would change.
Yeah, so
okay.
it added this really insane level of depth to where for one of the first times ever, it's like it felt like I could literally control everything. You can say how you would get on the horse, or like you can get off or do certain things or equip certain things in certain ways, and it was just really, really, really in depth. And it added to this level of immersion that was just so fucking cool. So what I'm saying is how can we apply that to Twinkies? How can we apply that to Twinks? A multi-tool of Twinkage.
I think that we just copy and paste the entire. I almost wonder if we just
give
a mod for our game.
Can I name some of the mechanics and then we can come up with stuff?
Yeah, what mechanics do you have that you might want replaced? Like, this is a thing that only a human can do, but I want to find an alternative for a Twinkie.
You bond with horses, so you have to bond with some sort of candied animal. Or, actually, another thing is your beard grows in real time. So what
you
is
have
that?
A button for that?
No, you have to go and shave.
Okay.
So, like, you actually... And then the crazy thing is...
Well, Twinkies never age. That's a key plot point of Zombieland.
They survived, like, the nuclear apocalypse, yeah.
So we can't have a beard mechanic. So what do we want to use to replace the beard mechanic?
What do you mean they can't have a beard mechanic? Are you saying you don't want hairs in your fucking Twinkie?
I'm saying Twinkies don't grow hair. They are immortal. They've survived the nuclear apocalypse and the zombie apocalypse. This was a key point in Zombieland.
If Super Saiyans can grow facial hair, then Twinkies can grow facial hair.
I don't know that Super Saiyans do grow.
They don't grow. Weirdly enough, I was watching.
Hey, can I ask a more important question?
What's that?
Why are you equivocating a Twinkie and a Super Saiyan?
They both have gold coloring. I don't know.
Asked and answered.
But Super Saiyans don't grow their hair, like on their head doesn't change, but they do grow facial hair.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure.
So Twinkies grow facial hair.
And they are essentially the same thing. Okay, so there's another thing.
They grow
horse controls out. Super Saiyan button in.
Instead of facial hair, they just their face just gets more bumpy from the Twinkie, and they have to shave off the excess.
I'm thinking we remove guns completely from this.
Okay, what do you put?
Kai blasts or key blasts. I've never been certain on how to pronounce that. No more shotguns, only Kamehamehas.
Spirit bombs.
Spirit bombs instead of
Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails. Thank you.
You wanna pitch me a new game, buddy?
I do want to start from the base because somehow very quickly we got Super Saiyan Twinkies on horseback. And I think you mentioned somewhere that the horses were made of candy, but I don't know if that was a thing or if that was a fever dream moment.
I mean, no, this whole thing is a fever dream.
I do want to put a pin in this, oddly enough.
Really? Okay.
Just because it's gone so foobar. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Okay, give me a game submission. I agree with you on that. It is very different from the original submission. You get a good one?
I'm just looking back on the show that we just created, and wow, that got really that went places, and I'm just man, we sure are some silly guys, huh? This comes from Michael Murder Snake Pankhurst at MJ Pank. MJ Pank suggests a game based on interior design where you're trying to set up people's house to have the best possible layout. But put the fucking candy bar down, Blake. Give me it.
You want to bite my protein bar?
I'm just taking it from you because we are podcasting right now. We talked about Twinkies too much and you got hungry, didn't you? And you couldn't control yourself for how much longer do we have in the episode?
Like half an hour.
You couldn't wait 30 minutes, huh?
No, I'm a hungry boy. I'm still growing. I'm sorry, please continue.
Can I go through MJ Pank's suggestion now? Because this is a real bangeranger.
Yes, please.
A game based on interior design where you're trying to set up people's house to have the best possible layout. But you're also a bear. And everyone knows it.
Okay. So is it just part disguise game where you have to disguise yourself for long enough?
I think it's not a disguise game. I think it really is that like you are blatantly a bear that is like walking and talking like Yogi the bear. Kind of like Yogi.
I'd say
exactly Yogi the bear.
I'd say go with something a little bit more relevant, like
what the fuck is more relevant than Yogi the bear?
Paddington, you fool. Okay, Paddington grew up and wanted to be an architect who sells houses. An architect slash a house salesman.
Interior designer. So Paddington is walking around and he's like, all right, so here, trust me on this one. You're going to want to put the bed right next to the door. And everyone's going to look at you and they're going to be like, yeah. Sounds cool. I like it's good for the feng shui of the room. I don't trust you. You are a giant bear.
See, you know what I think about though? I think what would be so fucking funny is that it's an interior decorator, but using the mentality of a bear. So it'd be like, yeah, you have to put the bed in front of the doorway because you don't want other predators coming in with you when you sleep for 6 months. He attempts to solve every interior problem
as a bear
would. So it's like, this is where you're going to store all your rotting carcasses of fish.
I'm a little bit more interested in the idea of a bear setting up somebody's house as the bear would want a human's house to be set up. Mm-hmm. That's why I was thinking of Yogi the bear, because what's Yogi the bear's number one goal in life?
Get a free house to live in or something?
Have you never watched Yogi the bear?
No, I didn't have Boomerang as a kid. I watched fucking Cartoon Network like an adult.
Yogi the bear's number one goal in life is to get a picnic basket. So here's Yogi the bear's goal.
How does a picnic basket? Sorry,
a picnic basket.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You want to try that one more time?
How does a picnic basket? How does a picnic basket relate to this scenario?
Thank you so much. Yogi the bear is going to set up the house in the way that it's
going to look like a picnic basket.
Well, he's going to set it up in the way it would be most easily robbed.
Oh,
that is my thought. You are Yogi the bear, and you're trying to set up a home in the way that, that way Yogi the bear can get in, raid the fridge, raid the snack drawer, raid the daughter's secret snack compartment, and get out of the house as quickly as possible.
You know what's so fucking crazy about this? This is such a cool idea because you have to design something that is sellable. Like they want to look and be like, oh, I feel safe here, but at the same time, you know how to get in. Yes. This is some Parasite shit.
This is some This is some real ass home robbers building homes shit.
Holy shit!
Except it's all from a bear's perspective.
That's a cool fucking angle.
Thank
Holy
you so
shit!
much. I'm so
Okay.
glad that you're involved.
Okay,
And
so
what I love about this also is it has a natural progression built in, right? So
Mhm.
like in the first place, you're selling like a 1-bedroom apartment.
yeah,
And you're interior designing a 1-bedroom apartment.
yeah.
That's pretty easy. The living room and the fridge are the
Mhm.
same thing. But then
Here-
like way late in the game, you're going to be building up and laying out extravagant mansions so you can
Mhm.
get the most food out of this home.
Additionally, there should be a thing of like this. So every previous level affects your budget for the following level. And how you get a better budget is when you do your interior design, you have to attract the highest paying person.
Yes.
So, but you also have to spend the least amount. So there's this real, like, what is it called? Not metagaming, but where like you're building the best sort of thing for yourself.
Like min-maxing.
Min-maxing. So you're like
Yes.
min-maxing, but interior design. So you have to design it as cheaply as possible, and then you also have to design it in a way where you can sneak in, and then depending on how rich they are will depend how much money they have in their fridge.
And depending on how much you're able to snag out of the fridge, I think that like between levels there will be like this variable cost of
Mhm.
like, oh, if you stole a bunch of food, you're going to save money from the living expenses because
Mhm.
you stole food.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have to worry about paying for your own food as Yogi the Bear.
So wait, hold on a second. Are you telling me the currency in this game is just stolen food?
No, I'm saying that
What? That'd be kind of cool. What if currency went bad? Like you have to spend or eat it
Maybe
in a
you
certain
do-
amount of time.
maybe you do gain currency if you've stolen more food, just
Mhm.
because
It represents currency.
it represents currency. Yeah,
Mhm,
that's a
mhm.
good way to put it.
Okay. And then, you know what you could do? You can. So the primary goal is getting. I'm not going to take him another bite. Don't worry. I know he's moving my.
I saw
my-
you eyeballing the chocolate bar.
It's really tasty. I got an empty mouth now. So yeah, I got to eat. So basically, you can also steal things from the house other than the food that you can use to cut costs in your next build. So like you build
But then we've created. I like Yogi the Bear only stealing food because it's a clear goal
Mm-hmm.
and it makes like a little bit of like a playful, mischievous Yogi the Bear. I don't want to advocate for crimes.
Oh, okay. So you're just advocating for stealing of food.
yeah,
which is
because
also a
that's,
crime.
Well, that's not a crime in bear law. You know what I mean? Like bears.
A bear has never been convicted for stealing food.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to approach a fucking bear.
It's not a crime in bear law to steal food, so
Uh-huh.
that's totally fine. But I don't want to create a Yogi the Bear that's like stealing from some dude's like jewelry box.
Mhm.
That sucks.
Okay, so how about this? Little world building here. This is a world where bears and people coexist.
No, it's
No,
just
no,
Yogi
no,
the Bear.
No. I want to do this because that means there gives a reason why they're skeptical.
They're
What?
skeptical because it's just a bear-ass bear.
Yeah, a bear-ass bear, but it also makes sense why they're selling homes because these bears got to make ends meet, bro.
Thank you so much for making it make sense that Yogi the Bear is a talking bear with a hat and a tie.
I'm here for
That
you.
was the one thing that was missing from Yogi the Bear canon. Was like I was loving that show growing up, but at the same time I was like, hey, why the fuck does Boo Boo have clothes? Little bow tie. What? I don't get it.
You know what's even crazier? Who did they take that from?
Who?
Who did they steal those clothes from?
Oh fuck! I always
There was a
just
man that wore Boo Boo's tie and hat before.
Well, Yogi has the hat.
Oh, okay.
Boo Boo just has a tie.
Like I said,
Yogi also
I
has a
did not
tie.
watch Boomerang. The only time I watched Boomerang was when Samurai Jack was on.
You're missing out. Yogi the Bear was some
I don't-
primo shit.
I don't like Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Like even like the OG Scooby-Doo was kind of hard for me to watch. Like I loved like the 1990 to 2001 movies. Primo fucking Scooby-Doo. But most Hanna-Barbera cartoons I wasn't into.
You just don't like original recipe Scooby Doo.
It's pretty. Like I like the design of some of it. Like
I just want to let you know, Blake Rea,
Uh-huh.
I forgive you.
I don't need it.
You do, and I forgive you. And hey, I'm absolving you of this burden.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Dante. I really appreciate it.
So, you build out the house. You lay out the
Uh-huh,
house, and I
uh-huh.
think that like at the end of the level, like once you've set up everything,
Mhm.
I think that then you're going to have to do like a test. And
Mm-hmm.
so like the homeowners are going to be like, I really like this. Can I ask why there's 4 windows right next to the fridge now? And you gotta be like,
Open space kitchen, everybody loves it. You know, lots of sunlight coming in. Actually, let me say this is a bear.
you dumb stupid idiot. That's how Scooby-Doo talks. Yogi the bear talks like this.
Tell me about this open floor plan kitchen, Yogi the bear.
Open window kitchen, lots of airflow, keeps the vegetables warm, or keeps the vegetables fresh, although they could be warm. Keep those tomatoes warm, they're good for a sandwich.
Ew,
Take those out.
Warm tomatoes for a sandwich, Yogi? What the fuck?
It's like a panini. It's like a little lukewarm panini for your picnic.
Lukewarm panini is the name of this fucking game, dude.
And I know you're probably wondering why the doors have 5 locks. That's certainly not to keep you in.
I know you specifically asked for a anti-bear lock, but it wasn't in the budget.
I thought that the anti-bear lock was a little paranoid, so I gave you
anti-fish locks.
Anti-fish locks. You know those fish.
They sneaky bastards. Hey, let's do some lightning round stuff.
Can I put a... I want
to pin this.
Okay.
This is a fun
Okay.
Lukewarm panini is a fun game. I like it.
What do you got?
Call it Yogi Bear Lukewarm Panini.
I think you just like the sentence lukewarm panini.
It's just such a funny fucking phrase. All right, I got one for you. This one comes to us from Michael Murdersnake Pankhurst at MJ Pank. A add-on to The Sims where it helps you import pictures of friends to create new characters in the game, but also secretly emails the people about all the weird stuff you end up making them do to each other. This is a straight attack on our friend Nina.
It's an attack on anybody ever that's played Sims. It's like, hey Blake, thank you so much for letting me put you in my version of Sims.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make you have a baby with my friend.
Don't worry about the emails that you're gonna get, and you're gonna go home and be like, I'm sure AJ just wanted to make a fun little Sims. Oh, that's weird. It says that
I'm a father?
Blake Rhea, you've had a child with Brooke. Bloop bloop. Blake Rhea, you've had a child with Susan. Bloop bloop. Blake Rhea, congratulations. You gave birth to a son. Bloop bloop. Blake Rhea, you've had another baby.
So hold on, let's put
Blake,
this.
you drowned in a pool.
Let's put this in the spiritual successor canon. AJ, whenever you play Sims and you create me in it, is your primary goal, it sounds like, is just to have me bang and have children with all of your friends.
I'm letting you in The Sims live out the life that you could have if you decided to
just fuck everything.
If you decided to capitalize on all of your perks, you would be nonstop in just people's personal zones. And if you won't take advantage of that majestic charisma in the real world, I'm going to let you live out that power in fantasy. You're welcome, I guess.
What the fuck? I'm both flattered and grateful that you think of me, but also, hey, fucking don't make me in your games. It's weird.
You have to be constantly fucking in some universe. It's not this one.
Oh, fuck, that reminds me. What's that fucking game? It's not Sims. A buddy of ours had it where it would actually keep track of, like, your desirability level.
What?
Yeah, I remember Nina had that. It was like a game where it's like, who's our hottest person? Who's the person that's liked the most? Who's the person that's like... And they made all of us in this game. It was the game where, like, it's a DS game where, like, me and our buddy Melody, I guess, were like...
Oh, that was like one of those,
up.
like, me-verse games.
Yeah!
I know exactly what you're talking about. And, like, everybody's, like, the most manly or the most charming.
Yeah. It's like, it distills you down to, like, basic, like, things, like descriptors.
Numbers. It narrows you down to numbers.
And if I remember correctly, I was the hottest.
You were the hottest
fucking...
on the island, according to our friend's 3DS game. Which was some shit because I was in second place and I definitely wasn't bitter about that.
I'll put that on my Tinder profile. I was hottest on my friend's DS game.
Was it Tamagotchi Life?
I think it was Tamagotchi Life. That does sound right.
I got another suggestion for our lightning rounds.
Okay, sweet.
Fish Harlan has given us the option to set us free.
Oh?
At Fish Harlan suggests the super self-indulgent monster dating game we all know you want to make. We can end all of the monster dating sims that are submitted to us right now if we just go ahead and make the monster dating sim that you and I both desperately want in the world. Here's my problem.
Uh-huh.
I think the monster dating sim that we desperately want in the world already exists. We just haven't played it yet.
Is it Monster High School?
It's Monster Prom.
Oh, actually, there's not a moth girl in it. I want to cuddle moth girl. I
Okay.
saw a really good, like when moths were like really big on Twitter like months ago. I saw a really cute moth girl photo, and I was like, oh, that's adorable.
They
And
just
then
look soft.
Then we also had Gummy Medusa from last week, which was kissy.
I think here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Blake and I just want to fuck monster girls.
No, I want to cuddle monster girls, you fucking slime boy.
I could get with a slime. Well, I've done irreparable damage to my brand.
Yeah, you did.
Next suggestion.
Thanks for trying to drag me down in that weird mess of goo and weirdness.
This comes from @Peanuts and S'mores. A game where you fight customers WWE style, and depending on who wins, there's a customer is always right belt and a customer is not always right belt.
Really quickly, what's the name of that person?
@Peanuts and S'mores. This comes from Cher, although it's upside down, which is wild to look at, and I have no idea how they did this.
At Peanuts and S'mores, who hurt you?
Every customer service employee, or every
customer.
customer. Yeah. If Karen wins, you have to override the register and use her expired coupons.
Ooh.
I want to do a wrestling game in like the center of like a Ross.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like just the collateral damage that could really be done inside of a Ross is somehow like horrifying and intoxicating at the same time.
What if, like, depending on who wins, has to pay for all the collateral damage too?
Ooh, there we go.
So it'd be like,
if you're the employee and you win, you get the customer is not always right belt. You don't use those shitty expired coupons, Karen. They've been not good for 2 months. What are you doing in here?
And then they need to pay for everything.
Also, I did throw every pair of shoes in this store while I was beating your ass. So there's just a lot of messes going around. I did some damage to the glass section that's inside of our Ross because we have no fucking rules in our establishment. Are we a clothes store? Are we a thrift shop? We don't know.
And you also need to pay my hazard pay. Because I was in danger.
Because let me tell you, going for that people's elbow off of the cash register and this whole checkout line was a lot higher a jump than I should have done, and I am injured because I missed.
You know what you could do too? It's an environmental battle game, so you can take things from around and like use them to hurt him.
Yes.
So it's just in our Discord, somebody posted a video of this guy named Super Hummin. And his whole thing is that he pile drives like printers and microwaves and barbed wire.
That's not all of his brand. Half of his brand is having his friend give him an attitude adjustment, which is a WWE move, and just drop him onto those painful things.
He's wearing a luchador mask. It's fucking wild.
It is certainly a brand.
It's his whole fucking brand, but like taking that same energy of like you're about to get pile drive by Karen, right? And you want to really stick it to her fucking, like, break her arm. You grab that heavy ass 1950s thrift store ass microwave that Ross sells, I think.
Of course, Ross sells it. They have no rules.
I once was waiting in the Ross line, and I was like, it felt like being in a van store, because of just not a van store, but like they were selling like old ass candy and black water and like all these weird things. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought this was a clothing store.
Ross feels like you went into like a Walmart and almost like anti-Mary Kondo'd the Walmart. Like you picked up everything, and if it sparked joy, you left it alone. But if you picked it up and you were like uncertain how to feel about it, it went to the Ross.
Ooh, yeah, everything there is kind of weird.
It's like just a chaotic store.
You know, my favorite part is when I walk in there and I see candy that's been expired for like a year.
Fuck, Ross is weird, huh?
You got another? Actually, I think I have another lightning round. If I don't, let's use one of yours. Or do you have another one ready?
I got one ready. This is from Kyra the Spira, @Kyra the Spira. A horror game where you're in the downtown area of a big city, skateboarding or rollerblading, and graffitiing buildings, vaping, shoulder tapping older people to buy you alcohol. Avoid the monsters trying to take you to their lair by maneuvering them in the streets.
So basically, it's just like you're a street urchin.
You are a street urchin,
and
you're a grubby street urchin, and you're just trying to get alcohol, do graffiti, and blade. and there are monsters trying to abduct you.
You know what? I want to put a little bit of a personal spin on this, if you don't mind. I think I've told it on the show where a homeless person punched me in the ass.
I don't know if you've told that story.
I was in San Francisco because for Comic-Con, right? And me and my boss at the time were sitting on a street, and this homeless gentleman came up and asked for a cigarette. When we told him no, he walked behind me and punched me directly in the ass and walked away. This is his backstory.
Well,
this is him surviving.
Is he one of the monsters trying to lure you back into his lair?
Well, I'm saying this is our main character, the homeless gentleman that punched me in my ass cheek. You're in downtown San Diego surviving against these monsters. He's looking for his next jewel just to survive. Instead of eating, he has a jewel.
What I like about this idea of this game is like it's like a urban day delinquent story with like all the mechanics of like a real life sim, right? Like make sure you're keeping tabs of the bus schedules so you can get home in time.
Basically,
for sleeping.
Persona. It's Persona, but like on but
turned up to 11. Like there's entire bus schedules that you can't miss. There's entire shopping stores that are only open during the right times.
What's that?
If you want the food that gives you the best buffs, you have to go into the supermarket at the right time of the day to make sure that you get it before it's all purchased out.
What's that murder mystery game that you were talking about that you have
Deadly Premonition.
That level
it's like
of
Deadly Premonition. It's that level of like city simulating.
Ooh.
Except you're in like an actual city. There's whole timetables that you need to keep track of. And on top of this entire like I'm just trying to live my life and vape, there are monsters that are trying to abduct you.
It's the Where's My Jewel girl.
Where's my jewel?
Where's my jewel? So not cool. That's what you hear down the alley in the dark. It's like, so not cool.
Where's my jewel?
Where's my jewel?
Where's my jewel?
So not cool.
That is definitely one of the monsters that you face in this city.
We call her Julie.
Julie the jewel girl. Yes.
All right, cool. I think it's time for our nug. I think it's lukewarm panini.
Are you sure you don't want to go to the game where you created a cowboy that's also a Super Saiyan and a Twinkie?
I think it's fun. I think there's more legs on lukewarm panini.
All right, we're not calling it that, first of all.
Why not? Why not? A lukewarm panini.
Because that's such a horrible video game name. Well, that's a bad video game name.
Yogi the Bear Architector?
Yogi the Bear Architect. It has a ring to it. So what do we want to think about for like other game mechanics? Because we do need to keep in mind.
I want to talk about endgame. What is this person building to? Because they are stealing picnic baskets from fridges to get by, but what are they saving up for? What are they trying to achieve? Is that like they're going to buy a house of their own that's always full of picnic baskets?
I think the goal is to create a house that is always going to be raidable.
Okay.
But it has to be a house that like would never know that it's being raided for food.
Oh,
so like
okay.
after every level we'll have like a little text thing pop up of like the house was very good. Yogi got like food for like 2 weeks. But he did end up breaking one of the 8 mirrors in that kitchen or 8 windows in that kitchen and got caught.
So are we basically hypothesizing that the last level or like we start introducing certain mechanics that like there are more security guards. Now there's security cams.
Yeah, Yogi the Bear will eventually reach a point where he'll be like, I'm a professional and I've hired a security guard for you.
Oh, you know, be so
But you
fucking
need to make
cool.
sure that when you create the security guard and you create the security guard route, because that's going to be a tool that you can also create, you leave an opening for Yogi to sneak in and grab food.
I have a better idea because I feel like this game can get really boring really fast if like you have complete and utter control of the environment.
Okay.
You need shit thrown at you that you weren't expecting. So you're going in, you're given the floor plan at the beginning of the game. You're like, this is where the fridge will go. But when you go into the level, there will be randomly spawned security cameras or security guards running through this thing that you have built. So then, say you fail that level, you have to remember, okay, there's going to be a security cam here and a security cam here. I need to build a little bit of a barrier here that makes sense so I can hide behind it to get by them.
So you build your own. You were given the house that you were the interior designer of. You are setting up defenses and just general home design
stuff so you can get through the level.
So that you can get through the level afterwards.
Yes.
That's incredibly kick-ass.
The whole game is just going back and forth being like, oh, fuck, I didn't get this far in my other game in my previous thing. So now you figure out that now there's a security guard armed with a revolver here. and this is their, cone of vision. You didn't know that, so now once you fail that, you got to go, okay, what can I do to deal with this security guard? And be cool. As
So
soon
then
as
you go back to the house and you're like, oh, so I was looking over the thing, and
I think it just
you
restarts.
could
I think
use-
you just go back
Oh,
to
you
architecture.
restart the whole level?
Just go back to the architecture. It'll go back to your most recent build. So then,
Okay.
and it'll be really cool too, is like the moment you encounter something, it'll then project on the blueprint. So it's like, when a map slowly reveals itself from being in shadow, like in Monster Hunter, when you go through it, now you can see it. So basically same thing. So like the further you get in the house, the more things you'll be able to see in the house.
I want to propose this idea. I don't think that you just go back to building. I think that like every time you go back to redesigning, you lose some money because that is an extra day of you like working on this house that you're not being paid for. Like you came back and you're able to tell the customer like
that's kind of hard because like how are you like say you build something and none of it is useful for your current mission.
Then you'll remember that and remember all the tactics for the next time you build something.
Yeah, but then like you just constantly are losing money and it just feels like you have to go it doesn't feel like you can just like the moment you fail something you have to do so many steps just to try and deal with that problem again. It feels like more of a grog rather than being like, oh, I want to, as soon as I encounter a problem, I want to immediately be able to try and fix it.
Okay, you know what? That's fair because this game is just like a moving forward game. There's not a lot of socializing.
Yeah.
It would be bad game design on us to create a game that wasted our players' time too horribly. We have games that exist to waste our players' time, but I don't think this is one of those.
Yeah, like unless it's like that's what the game is about, like fucking slime, which just takes you.
Yeah, this isn't Bass Pro Shops Dunks Unlimited.
Yeah,
that game I'd be totally fine creating wasteful game mechanics.
The higher ups, the people who run this company, are telling us we got to make a decent game every now and again to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
You can't conquer the world unless without some money.
Well, like we're on that Bethesda kick, right? Like we will. The things that we want to make are the shitty games that nobody will, like. Everyone's gonna buy and then regret it. But every now and again,
they'll still talk about it.
We have to publish those games that are actually good, so that we can keep pumping out our garbage shit.
So it's basically Fallout 76, but then you also have
Wolfenstein
New Order.
Yeah, this is going to be our Wolfenstein New Order.
Lukewarm Panini is our Wolfenstein New Order. And the same amount of character depth and cutting edge action and tools.
Yeah, it exists to keep the lights on.
All right, that's it. I think we're ready.
We don't want to talk about Yogi the Bear? Or, Boo Boo. You don't want to talk about Boo Boo the Bear?
Is he an unlockable character?
Well, Boo Boo the Bear is a little kid.
Wait, hold on a second.
Holding.
Yogi the Bear is in charge of building houses and condos.
Boo Boo the Bear's the one that has to break into the home.
Oh, you could do that. Yeah, so you have to build things to heal. I was thinking more of like Boo Boo is in charge of smaller builds, like apartments. And that would dictate the amount of stuff. But you could do a thing. It's like that way. That makes sense because it's like, Boo Boo, you got to be the one to break in because I got to keep anonymity here. That was more Boston.
That was so good. That was perfect.
That was so Boston.
That was a perfect Yogi the Bear impersonation.
I'm so sorry.
That was not. You knocked that out of the park, and I'm so happy.
Boo Boo, you got to give me. Fuck! I accidentally fell into it again. Shit! Don't leave me in charge of this. I'll do Boo Boo. What does Boo Boo talk like?
Oh, I don't know about this Yogi.
Oh, I don't know about this Yogi. Here, quick, do
your Boo Boo was better.
Really?
Or your Yogi was better. I'm sorry.
Well, shit. All right, so
we do need to think about a name for this game.
Lukewarm Panini.
Lukewarm Panini is not a good name for this video game.
But it gives you a sense. It gives you a texture. It gives you a visual. That's what this game needs to be about. Or at least that's how we sell it. You know what I mean?
It could be as simple
Just
as
Yogi
Yogi the Bear interior design.
Yeah, but that's not as funny. I'm looking for funny names, bro.
Yogi Bear,
Lukewarm Panini Architect. Lukewarm Panini Architect.
Yeah, Lukewarm Panini is not in the game title.
I'm sorry, but it's a really fun thing. Oh, how dare I congratulate you for your genius?
Hold on one second. I'm going to go talk to our star about this game. Okay. Hey, Yogi, what do you think about having Lukewarm Panini in this game? Oh, I don't know about that one, AJ. It sounds like a pretty shitty game idea. Yogi, did you just give a cuss? Yes, I did, and don't tell Cartoon Network.
Yo, Yogi, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should say swear words on camera.
I'm sorry, Boo Boo. That was an accident. It will not happen again.
Now go back to your cage.
Go back to your cage, Boo Boo. I do not want to talk to you. I'm having a discussion with this nice gentleman right here. Oh, thank you so much, Boo. Yogi, do not mess up our names again, AJ. I am a bear and I will kill you. Sorry, sir. So, no on the Panini game?
Ask him what,
It's no on the Panini.
what does Yogi the Bear think it should be titled?
I think it should be titled
Wow,
Yogi the Bear's Trusty Interior Design.
Hey, that's pretty good, actually. That's a good name title, Yogi.
Thank you
I'm
so
sorry,
much.
I didn't mean to intrude on your conversation. I was just getting lonely and curious.
I understand. I get lonely all the time, too. That's why I keep Boo Boo in a box.
They haven't put my reruns on the Country Network in years.
I got banished to Boomerang, and nobody watches Boomerang. They're only interested in that samurai guy. Well, back to obscurity. Goodbye, Yogi.
Then he fades to the mist of time. And
There he goes. Goodbye forever.
all right, so Yogi, fantastic.
Yogi the Bear's Trusty Interior Design.
Okay, I love it. All right, we ready for patch notes?
Yeah, I'm ready for patch notes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. If you guys like this podcast, make sure to leave a rating or a comment on your podcast app of choice.
It really does help us out, especially in the iTunes analytics, and it can really help us bump up a little bit in the charts.
We also have some fun little news for you guys. Next episode is going to be another guest episode.
That's right. I almost forgot. We have a guest next week.
Are we allowed to say who it is? Yeah, I mean, we're recording
I want
with
to say
them.
who it
yeah,
is.
Go ahead.
Next week, we're going to have Haley Rose on the show, which we're really, really excited about. I know that we did a guest episode a couple weeks ago, and that was a really, really fun time. It was a really experimental time. We've rethought about how we're going to do the guest episode, and we're really excited to do this.
We kind of we're coming up with a new formula on how we can do it, because we know one of the main things that was commented on is it didn't really feel like a normal Spiritual Successor episode. But we are going to try and get more chuckles in there, as well as trying to connect with this person and interview them. That's kind of our goal.
Yeah,
So
I'm really excited to try it out, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
all right, everybody, if you guys want to see the art for our Yogi the Bear architecture game, make sure to tune in on Twitter on Thursday, where I will be putting out custom art.
I'm so excited to see you mess around with
I'm
Yogi
going to put a
and Boo Boo.
lukewarm panini in it, out of spite.
Good. I wouldn't expect anything less from
He's
you.
going to be eating a lukewarm panini.
Is there a lukewarm panini over there? Go away, Yogi. We're done with you.
You've served your purpose.
That was pretty mini, you guys. But okay, I'm leaving.
Hey, Yogi the Bear, can we hire you, how much is your screen time worth now? $1 cent? Okay, cool. Can I pay you $1 cent to give us our fun little... Can we tell them where... can you do our sign out for us? We're lazy.
Okay, yeah, I can do the sign out. Oh, Yogi, could you read this one too? Oh, yeah, of course. The intro and outro music we use is Cheaper Shop by Anamanaguchi. An excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. These two have been your hosts.
No, Yogi, you got paid to say it all, man. That's what show us
Okay,
your worth.
I'll say your name too. The hosts, Blake Rhea and AJ Hart. This has been Spiritual Successor. Cool games that should not be made.
Go back to your cage.